The sound of a basketball bouncing echoes through the empty night. Under a flickering streetlight, 19-year-old Alex Thompson dribbles alone on a cracked asphalt court, sweat dripping despite the cold air. His worn-out sneakers squeak against the broken concrete as he practices the same crossover move for the 100th time tonight. This isn't just practice. This is survival. Suddenly, 3 expensive cars screech into the parking lot. Alex's heart sinks as he recognizes the luxury vehicles. His teammates from Westfield Elite Academy step out, designer basketball gear gleaming under the streetlights. Well, well, well. Look what we found, sneers Marcus Blackwood, the team captain whose father owns half the city. White trash like you doesn't belong in elite basketball. The other players laugh as they surround Alex. Their Jordan retros alone cost more than Alex's family spends on groceries in 2 months. Go back to your trailer park, Thompson, shouts Brandon Hayes, shoving Alex hard. You're embarrassing our school with those Walmart shoes. Alex stumbles but doesn't fall. He's used to this. The bruises on his ribs from last week's accident during practice still ache. As the cars drive away, leaving Alex alone again, his mind drifts back to how it all started. 3 years ago, Alex lived in Pine Valley Trailer Park with his mom, Sarah. She worked double shifts at the diner and the grocery store, coming home with hands cracked from dishwater and feet swollen from standing 16 hours straight. Their trailer was barely 800 square feet. The roof leaked when it rained, and the heater only worked half the time. But Alex never complained. Every morning before school, he'd shoot hoops at the rusty basketball goal behind their trailer. The rim was bent and had no net, but it was his escape from everything else. At Lincoln Public High School, Alex dominated every game. College scouts started showing up, whispering about his natural talent and incredible court vision. But the other kids at school had already decided who Alex was. They saw his secondhand clothes, his free lunch card, and the beat-up Honda his mom drove to pick him up after practice. "Look, it's Trailer Park Thompson," they'd whisper in the hallways. "I heard his mom can't even afford to buy him decent basketball shoes." Alex ignored them. He had bigger dreams than their small minds could understand. Everything changed when Coach Williams from Westfield Elite Academy offered Alex a full scholarship. Westfield was where future NBA stars were made. It was his ticket out of poverty. His mom cried when he told her. For the first time in years, they were tears of joy instead of exhaustion. But Westfield Elite Academy was nothing like Alex imagined. The campus looked like a country club, with marble hallways and facilities that cost more than most people's houses. On his first day, Alex met his roommate, a kid named Preston whose family owned 3 restaurants downtown. Preston took one look at Alex's duffel bag and thrift store clothes and immediately requested a room transfer. The coaches were even worse. During his first practice, Coach Harlan pulled Alex aside. "Listen, Thompson, I know you people think you're entitled to everything," Coach Harlan said, his voice dripping with assumptions. "But here at Westfield, you earn your spot through discipline and class, not government handouts." Alex was confused. "Coach, I don't understand. I earned this scholarship because of my basketball skills." "Don't play dumb with me," Coach Harlan snapped. "White kids from your background always think the world owes them something. You'll work twice as hard as everyone else to prove you belong here." The irony wasn't lost on Alex. He was being discriminated against for being poor and white, while everyone assumed he had privilege he'd never experienced. But the real shock came when Alex met Mia Rodriguez, a 17-year-old point guard who could out-dribble half the boys' team. Mia had grown up in the same kind of neighborhood as Alex. She understood the hunger that drove him to practice until his hands bled. "They told me girls get too emotional under pressure," Mia said after being benched during a crucial game. "Coach Jenkins said I needed to control my feelings like the boys do." Alex watched Mia dominate in practice every day, only to sit on the bench during games while less talented male players got her minutes. "It's not fair," Alex told her after another game where she barely played. "You're the best player on this team." "Fair doesn't exist for people like us," Mia replied. "We just have to be so good they can't ignore us anymore." That became Alex's mission too. Every insult, every assumption, every time someone called him trailer trash, he channeled it into his game. He started arriving at the gym before sunrise and leaving after midnight. His shots became more precise, his passes more creative, his defense more aggressive. Slowly, Alex earned respect on the court. Even Marcus and Brandon had to admit he could play. But late one evening, everything Alex thought he knew about Westfield Elite Academy came crashing down. He was heading to the locker room after extra practice when he heard voices coming from Coach Harlan's office. The door was slightly open. "The beauty is, these poor kids are so desperate they'll do anything," Coach Harlan was saying into his phone. "Thompson, especially. Kid's so hungry for success, he'd probably throw a game if I told him it would help his NBA chances." Alex's blood turned to ice. He pressed himself against the wall, straining to hear more. "We've got 3 games lined up this month," Coach Harlan continued. "The betting line on the championship game alone will net us $200,000. These trailer park kids are the perfect cover." Alex's heart pounded so loud he was sure Coach Harlan would hear it. His dream school, his ticket to a better life, was all built on a lie. As footsteps approached the door, Alex quickly ducked into the supply closet. Through the crack in the door, he watched Coach Harlan leave with a satisfied smile. Alex's hands shook as the reality hit him. His hero had just revealed himself to be the villain. The next morning, Alex couldn't focus on anything. Coach Harlan's words echoed in his mind as he sat through classes, barely hearing the lectures. During lunch, he noticed a new student sitting alone in the corner. The kid had an expensive haircut and designer clothes, but something about his posture seemed familiar. "Mind if I sit?" the new student asked, approaching Alex's table. "I'm Jordan Mitchell. Just transferred here from California." Alex looked up, studying Jordan's face. There was something in his eyes that didn't match the cocky smile he wore. "Sure," Alex replied. "I'm Alex Thompson." "I know who you are," Jordan said, sitting down. "Heard you're the trailer park kid who's been making waves on the basketball team?" Alex tensed, expecting another insult. But Jordan's tone was different. It wasn't mocking. "I grew up in Compton," Jordan continued quietly. "My mom cleaned office buildings at night so I could afford basketball camps during the day." Alex's defenses slowly lowered. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I recognize the look," Jordan said. "The same look I had when rich kids told me I'd never amount to anything because of where I came from." Over the next few weeks, Jordan became Alex's closest friend at Westfield. They practiced together after official team sessions, sharing stories about growing up poor. "Society wants us to believe we have to cheat to win," Jordan said one evening as they shot free throws. "They pressure us to take shortcuts because they think we don't deserve success the honest way." "But what if the whole system is rigged?" Alex asked, thinking about what he'd overheard from Coach Harlan. Jordan stopped dribbling and looked directly at Alex. "Then we expose it. Real winners don't just play fair, they make sure everyone else does too." But the pressure at Westfield was getting worse. Alex's teammates had escalated their bullying beyond just words. Before the next game, Alex opened his locker to find his basketball shoes filled with shaving cream. His practice jersey had been cut into pieces. "Oops," Marcus laughed as Alex stared at the destruction. "Guess the poor white boy will have to play in his welfare sneakers." Brandon joined in, shoving Alex against the lockers. "Maybe if you begged real nice, your trailer park mommy could buy you some real gear." Alex's hands clenched into fists, but he forced himself to walk away. He couldn't afford to get suspended. The worst moment came during a crucial game against their biggest rivals. Alex had been playing the best basketball of his life, scoring 25 points in the first 3 quarters. But with 5 minutes left and Westfield leading by 12, Coach Harlan suddenly benched Alex. "Rodriguez, you're in," Coach Harlan called out. Mia looked shocked. She hadn't played meaningful minutes all season, despite being one of their most talented players. "Coach, what are you doing?" Alex asked. "We're in the middle of a run." "Don't question my decisions, Thompson," Coach Harlan snapped. "Rodriguez needs the experience." Alex watched in horror as their lead disappeared. Mia played brilliantly. but the other players refused to pass her the ball. They were deliberately sabotaging her performance. Westfield lost by 8 points. In the locker room afterward, Coach Harlan blamed the defeat on emotional decision-making and lack of team chemistry. "This is exactly why we don't rely on charity cases and girls in pressure situations," he announced to the team. Alex felt his world crashing down. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe kids like him didn't belong in elite basketball. That night, Alex called his mom, ready to quit Westfield and come home. "I don't think I can do this anymore, Mom," he said, his voice breaking. "Maybe I should just get a job and help you with the bills." "Alex Thompson, don't you dare give up," Sarah said firmly. "You're stronger than any of those rich kids. They're scared of you because they know you earned everything they were handed." After hanging up, Alex sat on his dorm room floor, staring at his worn basketball. Everything felt hopeless. A soft knock interrupted his thoughts. Jordan entered, closing the door carefully behind him. "Alex, we need to talk," Jordan said, his usual casual demeanor completely gone. "What I'm about to tell you might shock you." Alex looked up, confused by Jordan's serious tone. "My real name is Jordan Mitchell, but I'm not a transfer student," Jordan began. "I'm a 23-year-old undercover investigator with the State Athletic Commission." Alex's mouth dropped open. "What?" "I've been investigating Coach Harlan for 6 months," Jordan continued. "He's running an illegal betting operation, and he's been using poor players like you as pawns." The room seemed to spin around Alex. "I don't understand." "Coach Harlan targets kids from low-income families because they're desperate for success," Jordan explained. "He promises them NBA connections and scholarship money, but really he's grooming them to throw games." Alex thought about the conversation he'd overheard. He mentioned something about easy money and betting lines. "Exactly," Jordan said. "He's been fixing games all season. That loss tonight? That wasn't coincidence. He benched you because the betting line was too close." "But why me?" Alex asked. "I've never agreed to throw any games." Jordan's expression darkened. "Because he's been building leverage against you. Alex, those debt collectors who've been calling your mom? They're connected to Harlan's operation." Alex's blood went cold. "What debt collectors?" "The ones threatening to foreclose on your trailer," Jordan said gently. "Harlan's been having his associates create fake debts tied to your family. He's planning to offer you a way out in exchange for your cooperation." Alex felt sick. His dream of helping his mom had become a nightmare that was destroying her instead. "We can stop him," Jordan said, "but I need your help to gather evidence." "What do you want me to do?" Jordan pulled out a small recording device. "Pretend you're interested in his offer. Get him to explain the whole operation on tape." Alex stared at the device, knowing that accepting it would change everything. But the thought of his mom losing their home because of his basketball dreams made the choice clear. "When do we start?" The championship game was 3 days away, and Westfield Elite Academy buzzed with excitement. Local news crews interviewed players, and college scouts filled the practice gym. Alex had been wearing the recording device for 2 weeks, but Coach Harlan hadn't revealed anything incriminating yet. Time was running out. During warm-ups before practice, Alex deliberately stepped wrong on a rebound, grabbing his ankle and crying out in pain. "Thompson's hurt!" someone yelled as Alex collapsed on the court. Coach Harlan rushed over, his face showing genuine concern. "Can you put weight on it?" Alex winced dramatically. "I think it's just a minor sprain, Coach. I'll be fine for the championship." "Ice it and rest today," Coach Harlan ordered. "We can't risk making it worse." While the team continued practice, Alex limped to the trainer's room. But instead of getting treatment, he quietly slipped into Coach Harlan's office. The coach's phone sat on his desk, unlocked and displaying text messages. Alex's hands shook as he scrolled through the conversation thread. "Championship betting line set at Westfield -4, read one message. Need them to lose by at least 7 for maximum payout." Another text made Alex's stomach drop. "Thompson kid is perfect. Desperate enough to do anything. If he refuses, threaten the mother's trailer foreclosure. The final message was sent just an hour ago. 3 million guaranteed if we pull this off. Biggest payday yet. Alex quickly photographed the messages with his phone, his heart pounding so loud he was sure someone would hear it. Footsteps in the hallway sent Alex scrambling back to the trainer's room just as Coach Harlan returned. That evening in the dorm, the pressure reached a breaking point. Marcus, Brandon, and 3 other teammates cornered Alex in the common room. "We know what you're really about, Thompson," Marcus said, his voice menacing. "Coach Harlan told us you've been asking questions about game strategies." "Everyone cheats to escape poverty," Brandon added. "You think you're better than us, but you're just another poor kid who'll do anything for money." "Look around," Marcus gestured to the luxury dorm. "You think any of us got here by playing fair? My dad bribes admissions officers. Brandon's family pays for private referees." Alex felt the weight of their expectations crushing down on him. "I never said I wouldn't help." "Good," Marcus smiled coldly. "Because Coach has a special job for you in the championship." Just then, Mia walked into the common room, overhearing the conversation. "What kind of job?" she asked boldly. "Mind your own business, Rodriguez," Brandon snapped. "This is team business." "I am part of this team," Mia shot back, stepping closer to the group. Marcus laughed. "Girls like you get too emotional under pressure. That's why you barely play." Mia's eyes flashed with anger, but her voice remained steady. "Girls like me get called weak when we show emotions, but somehow we're the strong ones when we have to carry everyone else's secrets." The room fell silent at her unexpected confidence. "You want to know the truth?" Mia continued. "I've been watching all of you break rules and blame it on pressure, but real strength isn't cheating your way to victory." Alex looked at Mia with new respect. She was facing the same discrimination he was, but she'd never lost her integrity. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. He called his mom, knowing he needed to tell her everything. "Mom, there's something I need to confess," Alex began, his voice breaking. "What is it, sweetheart?" Sarah asked, sensing his distress. "I found out why Dad really left us," Alex said, tears streaming down his face. It wasn't just because he couldn't handle being a father. Sarah was quiet for a long moment. "Alex, how did you find out?" "Coach Harlan is running a gambling operation, and Dad's name is in his old records," Alex explained. "Dad didn't just abandon us. He lost everything to gambling, and when Harlan's people came to collect, he ran." "I've carried that secret for 10 years, Sarah whispered. "I didn't want you to hate your father." "I could never hate him, Mom, but I understand now why you work so hard to keep us safe," Alex said. "And I'm going to make sure no other family goes through what we did." The next morning, Alex's world exploded. As he entered the locker room, he found Marcus waiting with Coach Harlan and 2 men in expensive suits. "Well, well," Coach Harlan said with a cold smile. "Marcus tells me you've been recording our conversations." Alex's blood turned to ice. Someone had betrayed him. "I don't know what you're talking about," Alex said, but his voice betrayed his fear. Marcus stepped forward, jealousy burning in his eyes. "I saw you with that recording device. Did you really think you could expose us and still keep your scholarship?" "You see, Thompson," Coach Harlan continued, "Marcus comes from real money. His family donates millions to this school. You're just a charity case who can be replaced." A fight erupted as Marcus lunged at Alex. The two crashed into lockers, trading punches while the adults watched. Alex managed to break free, clutching his phone with the photographed evidence. He sprinted toward the exit as Coach Harlan shouted after him. "You have 24 hours to decide, Thompson," Coach Harlan yelled. "Throw the championship game or your mother loses everything." Alex burst through the gymnasium doors, gasping for air. Jordan was waiting in the parking lot, seeing Alex's bruised face. "They know," Alex panted. "Marcus ratted me out." "Do you have the evidence?" Jordan asked urgently. Alex showed him the photos of Coach Harlan's text messages. Jordan's eyes widened as he read them. "This is exactly what we need," Jordan said. "But Alex, they're going to pressure you hard tomorrow." Alex looked back at the school building, then at his phone, showing 17 missed calls from unknown numbers. I know what I have to do, Alex said firmly. I'm going to expose them during the championship game. Mia appeared from behind a car, having overheard everything. Count me in, she said with a grin. Someone needs to show these boys how real champions handle pressure. Despite everything, Alex laughed. Tomorrow would change everything, but for the first time in weeks, he felt like he was on the right team. Championship night arrived with packed bleachers and television cameras broadcasting live across the state. Alex could see his mom in the front row, wearing her best dress despite working a double shift that morning. The game was intense from the opening tip. Both teams traded baskets, and by halftime, Westfield trailed by just 3 points. In the locker room, Coach Harlan pulled Alex aside with a sinister smile. Remember our conversation, Thompson. Miss those crucial shots in the fourth quarter, and your family keeps their home. Play hero, and your mother will be homeless by Monday. Alex nodded, pretending to agree while his hidden recording device captured every word. The third quarter flew by in a blur. With 2 minutes left in the game, Westfield was down by 5 points. The crowd was on their feet, chanting Alex's name. Coach Harlan called timeout, his eyes locked on Alex. This is it, Thompson. Time to earn your family's security. But as the team huddled, Alex made his choice. He looked at Mia, who gave him an encouraging nod. I'm going to win this game, Alex whispered to Jordan during the timeout. Get ready. The final 2 minutes began with Alex bringing the ball up court. Instead of the missed shots Coach Harlan expected, Alex drove hard to the basket, scoring and cutting the lead to 3. On the next possession, Alex stole the ball and found Mia open for a three-pointer. She drained it without hesitation, tying the game. Coach Harlan's face turned red with rage as he screamed from the sidelines, "What are you doing, Thompson?" With 30 seconds left, Alex had the ball again. The opposing team double-teamed him, but he stayed calm, just like his mom taught him during those late nights in the trailer park. Alex drove to the basket, drawing contact and sinking the shot. The crowd erupted as Westfield took the lead by 2 points. But then, something incredible happened. As Alex celebrated with his teammates, police officers suddenly burst through the gymnasium doors. The crowd gasped as officers surrounded the court. Jordan revealed his badge and pointed directly at Coach Harlan. Coach Harlan, you're under arrest for conspiracy, racketeering, and fraud. The arena fell silent except for the sound of handcuffs clicking around Coach Harlan's wrists. This is insane, Coach Harlan shouted. You have no proof. Alex stepped forward, pulling out his phone. Actually, we have everything. The video evidence played on the arena's big screen. Coach Harlan's voice echoed through the speakers, admitting to fixing games and exploiting poor players. The crowd's shock turned to outrage as they realized what they were witnessing. You exploited kids like me who just wanted a chance to succeed, Alex said, his voice carrying across the silent gymnasium. You used our poverty against us, making us choose between integrity and survival. Flashbacks flashed through Alex's mind as he stood there. He remembered the first day at Westfield, feeling alone and unwelcome. He thought about Mia being benched despite her talent. He recalled the nights when teammates called him trailer trash. But he also remembered every person who believed in him. His mom working double shifts with a smile. Jordan mentoring him through the investigation. Mia standing up to discrimination with unwavering courage. As Coach Harlan was led away, he turned back desperately. Alex, please, I was just trying to help you kids make money. No, Alex replied firmly. You were trying to help yourself make money off our dreams. The referee, confused by the chaos, eventually resumed the game. With 5 seconds left, the opposing team had one final shot to win. But Alex and his teammates, now playing with pure hearts and clear consciences, defended perfectly. Westfield won the championship fair and square. As confetti fell from the ceiling, Alex was surrounded by teammates who had once bullied him. Marcus approached with tears in his eyes. Alex, I'm sorry for everything, Marcus said. You showed us what real courage looks like. We all make mistakes, Alex replied, offering his hand. What matters is who we choose to be moving forward. The celebration continued as news reporters interviewed Alex about exposing the corruption. But the moment that mattered most was when his mom reached the court. I'm so proud of you, baby, Sarah cried, hugging Alex tightly. Not for winning the game, but for doing what was right. Mia joined them, holding the championship trophy. We did it, she said, all of us together. 3 months later, Alex stood before an assembly of middle school students from low-income neighborhoods. His Westfield scholarship had been renewed under new, honest coaching staff. I want you to understand something, Alex told the young faces looking up at him. Society might tell you that people like us have to cheat to succeed. That's a lie. The students leaned forward, hanging on his every word. I grew up in a trailer park. I wore secondhand clothes and ate free lunch. But I learned that integrity isn't about having money. It's about refusing to compromise your values, no matter the pressure. A young girl in the front row raised her hand. What if everyone else is cheating? Alex smiled, remembering asking Jordan the same question. Then you be the one who changes the game. You be the example that shows others a better way. We're not just telling stories here, Alex continued, his voice growing stronger. We're changing lives. Every time you choose honesty over shortcuts, you're proving that character matters more than cash. The applause was thunderous as Alex concluded his speech. Remember, what happens in the dark always comes to light. Stand up for what's right 100% of the time, because that's how real champions are made. As Alex left the stage, he thought about how far he'd come. From a cracked basketball court behind a trailer to inspiring the next generation of dreamers. The game had taught him that true victory isn't measured by scoreboards or scholarships. It's measured by the courage to do what's right, even when the whole world is watching.